Yeah, so me and Elijah are roommates. And he's fine to live with. Pretty messy, but nice or whatever. So, I knew something was wrong in early December. He was starting to act weird. Like, usually he just has normal problems. Like, sometimes he doesn't finish his homework on time and he gets into fights. But early December, I started noticing that he was becoming very paranoid about when I was in the room. Like, he'd come home and I was just like chillaxing, playing some dubstep, and he's like, "Why are you here?" Like, scared. And I'm like, I live here. So that kind of stuff happened more and more frequently. Like, one time I asked to borrow his ruler and he looked at me and he was like, "You haven't looked through my stuff, have you?" And I'm like, "No." But I can tell he's like bugging out, not doing well. And after that, I was like, okay, I gotta figure out what's going on. So one day, when he was at the banking club he goes to, I started looking through his drawers. And at first, there's just a bunch of random stuff, like school supplies, clothes, and that's when it started getting kind of weird. I noticed he had a whole box of like pads, like menstrual pads. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's for like his girlfriend. Like, I don't know. I thought he was gay, but maybe he's always got one on him to help someone out. So that part, I'm like, okay, maybe he's a feminist or whatever. But that's when I opened the next drawer. And he's got a folded up sheet over the whole contents of the drawer. So I'm like, that's suspicious as fuck. And I take off the sheet, and there's just stacks upon stacks of $100 bills. And I took them out to make sure that they were real. And they all were. So after that, I'm like, I don't think this is just from his job. And at the time, I didn't know much about the banking club transaction. So I was like, I couldn't figure out where the money would be coming from. So one time he stepped out of the room to go do laundry or something. And he had left his computer on his desk. And I hopped on his computer. So I got into the email and I started noticing, like, a lot of these emails were him discussing with other people in the banking club where their funding had gone. Because it was disappearing. And I kept finding these emails. So that's why I wrote down your email. And that's why I'm talking to you now. I don't think you should be allowed to be in this club. Like, yeah, it's a banking club, but you're not supposed to make money by robbing the club. So, I mean, that's my take on the whole situation, but I just wanted to let you know about all the stuff I found out. And I hope you can make an informed decision.